SAS programming challenges in ISS and ISE studies having heterogeneous endpoint. We consider here 12 studies to be pooled A to L into ISS and ISE study. ISS stands for Integrated Summary of Safety. ISE stands for Integrated Summary of Effectiveness, Efficacy, SDTM and ADAM data standards wherever relevant. The problem here is heterogeneous endpoint definitions. Primary, secondary endpoints differ. Now what does this mean? Homogeneous is same. Heterogeneous is different, not same. I'll explain this in a very simple language. Heterogeneous is one is variable is numeric and the another variable is character. So they are not same, right? Now here the primary endpoint, especially between different studies, they differ. Like say in one study it is percentage change from baseline and in another study it is responder rate. Now as you know, the percentage change from baseline endpoint, that specific variable needs to be numeric, right? Whereas whenever you consider the responder rate in another study, the endpoint, the primary endpoint is uh, character. Like say for example, responder is either yes or no, right? Or say some value you can assign as 0 and 1, or it could be responder or not responder. That character field is there. So in one study you have a numeric kind of an endpoint definition variable. In another study you have a character kind of a variable as an endpoint definition. So studies, they are having different primary endpoints. That is the meaning of heterogeneous endpoint. Clear? Now the solution here is to map endpoints to canonical pooled endpoints wherever possible. If not possible, produce separate pooled analysis or meta-analysis combining effect sizes. Now as and when you consider, like say for example, responder not responder, if you convert to 0 or 1 or 1 to 2 numeric variables and then you do the analysis, if it is giving you the meaningful analysis after assigning or converting that to numeric variables, you can go ahead. But if it is not possible to do that, so you can go ahead and implement the meta analysis, or you can give the separate pooled analysis, right? For numeric variables you will do separate, and for character variables you will do separate analysis, and then you can do the meta analysis. So that's the only solution. Now here the studies A to D, they are having continuous change from baseline as the endpoint, the primary endpoint. Whereas in another study it's a binary responder at week 12. So even it is not at baseline responding, it is at the week 12. So the visit is also changing, and even the numeric versus your binary values, either 0 or 1 or responder or not responder, that is even changing. So what you need to do is, for ISS study you need to create harmonized endpoints. Say for example, convert continuous to responder. Like if it is falling under this specific range, you assign that as responder, or if it is falling under this specific range, then you assign it as non-responder. Now these all criteria is only the medical person or a biostatistician or the sponsor will tell you as to how to convert these heterogeneous endpoint into harmonized endpoints. So then you can run the both pooled continuous analysis and the pooled responder analysis. If the conversion is impossible, you can perform meta-analysis, for example, standardized mean differences. I will again create another video on what is meta-analysis and how to perform the meta-analysis separately. But for the time being, for this specific video, I will focus on this specific point. Now in SAS hints, you can use prog mixed for continuous. As you know, you have the numeric variables, whereas you can use proglymics for binary, whether it's a 0 and 1, responder not responder, character variables. So in those situations you can use this specific procedure, or derive effect sizes from meta analytic methods. So whenever you are working on this ISS and ISS study, you need to first concentrate on the endpoints, the primary, secondary, exploratory, whether these endpoints are they homogeneous. If they are homogeneous, then it is very life is going to be easy for changing into the harmonized endpoint. Now if these endpoints, primary, secondary and exploratory, they are not homogeneous, they are heterogeneous. So now the life is going to be a bit difficult in terms of tedious job trying to build up the harmonized, speak with all the other stakeholders to come up with the common agreement as to what harmonized heterogeneous endpoints that we are going to finalize in ISS and ISE stack. So it's again a loophole kind of a process where you need to involve all the stakeholders, and that's why working on ISS and ISE study, it's always time consuming, daunting and a very tedious kind of job. But if there are 2 to 3 individual studies that you need to combine, life is easy. But even if you have more than 10 studies, then it becomes time consuming job. So I hope you might have understood now what is the difference between homogeneous endpoints and the heterogeneous endpoints. Many thanks for watching my video and happy learning. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a feedback comment. Many thanks for your support and having great connection.